Saturday is Coach Prime's time. The celebrity-savvy Deion Sanders has seized the moment in college football. Example number 1, the glasses. On the second Saturday of September, when Deion Sanders entered the press room beneath the stands at Folsom Field at the University of Colorado at Boulder, he halted for a split second to feign surprise at the number of reporters in the room. "Oh my God," said Sanders, who took over as head football coach last December. "We must be winning. Shoot." The Buffaloes had just defeated the University of Nebraska 36-14 in their first home game of the season before a crowd of 53,241, their largest in 15 years. The week before, they had upset Texas Christian University. The room was packed to bursting with reporters from across the country. Sanders, or Coach Prime, as the 56-year-old styles himself now, shuffled across the room. His stride is reduced to a limp after multiple surgeries to deal with the effects of turf toe suffered during his playing days, and took his seat behind the microphone. Sunglasses on, with a white hoodie under a dark suit coat and the customary gold cross on a chain around his neck, he was less combative than he'd been after the TCU game, but still his full braggadocious and beguiling self. "It was tremendous," he said of playing in front of the home crowd, not just the number, but the energy and the love and the expectation. It's a far cry from this time last year, when the Buffaloes dropped their home opener to TCU on their way to a sixth consecutive losing season, and then Coach Karl Dorrell gave a subdued performance in front of a much smaller press corps. Fox didn't bring its big noon kickoff pregame show to Boulder that week, as it did this year, and the game didn't draw 8.7 million viewers, the network's most ever for a regular season game in the Pac-12 conference, as it did this year. "I've never seen anything like this," says Vince Castile, who sets up shop on a sidewalk in downtown Boulder on fall weekends selling Buffaloes jerseys, hoodies, and t-shirts. Castile's stock was cleared out by the Friday before the Nebraska game. In years past, he says, he couldn't give away Buffaloes merchandise. The Boulder Chamber estimates that Coach Prime's debut brought an economic impact of $17 million on game day alone, up 70% from last year's home opener. Hotel rooms were so hard to come by that visitors were staying as far as 3 hours away. "I've never seen anything like this," says Vince Castile, who sets up shop on a sidewalk in downtown Boulder on fall weekends selling Buffaloes jerseys, hoodies, and t-shirts. Castile's stock was cleared out by the Friday before the Nebraska game. In years past, he says, he couldn't give away Buffaloes merchandise. The Boulder Chamber estimates that Coach Prime's debut brought an economic impact of $17 million on game day alone, up 70% from last year's home opener. Hotel rooms were so hard to come by that visitors were staying as far as 3 hours away. I don't think anyone truly understood the type of impact he would have, says Charles Johnson, a quarterback on the Buffaloes' only team to win a national championship in 1990. Colorado has only had 13 winning seasons in the 32 years since then. Johnson, now a vice president at the packaging maker Ball Corporation, had heard Sanders would accept the head coaching job a couple of days before the official announcement, so he called the Colorado ticketing office and bought a suite in the stadium for $14,000. The day after the announcement, he called back to try to get another and was placed on a wait list behind 2,300 others. Such is the market-bending pull of Sanders, whose new career as a coach is reshaping not only the downtown Boulder economy and the competitive landscape of college football, but also his own considerable legacy. In his new role as Coach Prime, Sanders is building an audience among a generation of fans who have no memory of Neon Deion, the bandana-wearing, endzone shuffling, must-be-the-money-singing, two-sport star of the NFL and MLB in the 90s, the only person ever to play in both a Super Bowl and a World Series.